Good morning, all. Whew. I feel like I ran a marathon already this morning. Literally. Holy moly. Right before I started this, your enemies and your attackers are starting to embarrass themselves. I would agree. I would completely agree with that statement. 100%. 100%. And they've actually been embarrassing themselves for quite some time. They just didn't see it. But I think now it's finally clicking. It's finally clicking. I know it is for me. I know it's definitely clicking. In the magnitude of what I've just connected in the last 24 hours. And it's crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy to me. Just how far back it truly does go and how deep they went to just make my life a living HELL. Truly. And I don't like talking about these things because I do not want to ever carry a victim mentality, because I'm very grateful for everything, truly. Because had I not walked through everything, I would still be living in it. Better yet, I'd probably be dead, which is what they were anticipating. Believe me, they made so many countless moves for that to be the outcome. Truly. Absolutely, truly. I can pinpoint certain days. I can pinpoint certain things on the road. I can pinpoint interactions with people, whether that be my food, my drug addiction, the people that I was surrounded by, all these bots, all these paid actors, the conversations, the situations, people that have been placed in my life for particular reasons. You know, everybody judges from the outside lens looking in, but you have no idea the illusions that are partaking around in multiple psyops. Like I've been watching Candace Owen and Sean Ryan's interview and just hearing her speak. I don't even think she realizes how far back it goes for her in reference to the psyop and her and PragerU, and then the mold issue that she had with her. Like all of these things, they all tie in. You know, people just don't understand. People see things in certain people and they see the ability of what they can pour into this world. So they get somehow, some way placed in these underground organizations where they have handlers. They have these illusions placed around their reality to make them go this way, Like The Choice with PragerU. That's what people don't understand. Like, I know it doesn't make sense for me because it's like, I question it too, because I'm like, these people were all in freaking the limelight, you know, they're in the political sphere. So what about me? You know, at the end of the day, they started this. It's not like I started this. I don't even know. It makes no sense to me. So it's just comical to me that I find myself in a world filled with illusions, tactics, paid actors, and situations. And at the end of the day, I'm just living my life genuinely and authentically, and I have been all 42 years, all mishaps within it, right? And I accept all of my parts and my accountability, right? But it's like I find myself in this simulation, and it's just comical to me because it's like you are doing your action and your intentions, not because I'm making you do it. I can assure you of that. You're doing that on your own free will or whatever tied up you got there. And I'm sorry for that. I truly am. I know what it feels like to be in bondage and chains. Holy moly. I replayed the 8.5 years I was there and the friendships that I had and the relationship and the ploy with my ex-husband and how he was placed in my life at that certain time. And just the conversations that transpired within that series and that season of my life, and just how the corresponding relations within all of the different parts within my circumstances and the choices that I was provided, which were all unfavorable to me, but they were manipulated by those around me in different ways. It was just like I was living in a world with no control, truly. And I get what that feels like. And I know freaking Charlie felt that way. You do. You have these premonitions. You have these dreams. That's always been a huge issue for me. Here in the recent, few weeks, I've actually had a good amount of sleep. I don't have any issues sleeping unless I got to go potty or if I got to take a breathing treatment. I sleep pretty fine. But up until here recently, that was always an issue with me for years upon years. And I now see. I just see. You know, so clearly, so evidently, and it just blows my mind, just to the layers where people will start dancing with the devil and dancing with just parts of this world, parts of this life, parts of this reality that just were never designed to be danced with. They just weren't. People's livelihood, people's choices, people's free will, those are not things that are supposed to be designed to be controlled, and yet we find ourselves in a world filled with millions of people that think that they have the right to control them because they're a part of XYZ. But to the reality of the world, they're the most perfect people in the world. They're the most angelic people in the world. They're out here in the communities making millions and billions of dollars that they're laundering. They're giving to all these nonprofits that they also have their name in the pot. And, you know, they're just the most upstanding individuals. You would never think. You would never think on the sidelines what they're a part of, you know? And you see that so evidently in the mirror of Charlie Kirk, in the mirror of Trump and his whole administration and his family, and Butler. And I mean, it just goes back and back and back. And it's just absolutely crazy. And it would be ignorant to us to think that this hasn't been happening for years upon years. And it all somehow, some way interconnects to Israel, to Bibi. It truly does. They have so much control within all 50. It's not even funny. Even the local communities. I see it on the billboards here. I see it on the bumper stickers. I see it, you know, and it's just one of those things, you know, and it's crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy to me that we live in a world right now where people somehow, some way, in that mind of theirs, in that little mindset, have relinquished power to something outside of them to make decisions outside of their conscience, of knowing what truly is right and what truly is wrong. And it all does stem from childhood trauma, systematic abuse, conformity, insecurities, sexual abuse, all kinds of stuff. It stems from generational upbringing. And it just does. But see, the other opposing side of that knows that. They know that. And that's why they come in and they know how to warp your mind. They know how to take advantage of you. They do indeed. Because we've been indoctrinated that we have to keep turning a blind eye, you know, to certain types of treatment when it's blatantly in front of our face, whether that's within your family, within your community, within the law enforcement, within the government, within the churches, let alone, you can't question the churches, right? And it's like, you know, I'm at a place where it's like, it's not even so much questioning. It's like I said, it's an acceptance, but baby, I have boundaries. There's nothing wrong with having boundaries and recognizing who people are. Even when they're putting a false facade in front of you. And you recognize that and you accept that. You know, when Trump's speech last night, I can't even watch him speak. Half the time he doesn't even make one bit of sense. He's repetitive. It's all keywords. It's all manipulative. And there's very little substance and truth within it. It's just a conglomeration of nothing that makes sense. Truly. And it's like, I just can't even hear him speak at this point. It's too disappointing. It truly is, to be at such a place of power and to see what you're choosing to do with it. And, you know, intentionally or unintentionally, at the end of the day, you still are. And there's acceptance within that. You have to. You know, and it's just one of those things. Agree to disagree. I understand there's a line in the sand that's been drawn. I get it. And to those that want to support him, please do. Carry on. You know, but it's one of those things, like, I just absolutely refuse. You can't put a green light to pedophilia and think that that's okay. You can't put a green light to human trafficking and think that that's okay. You can't put a green light to people being assassinated in broad daylight and then run a full-blown psyop and think that that's okay. You can't use maybe supposedly nearly getting assassinated as a way to mess with the voting pool to solidify you a seat and think that that's okay. Maybe sorta, shoulda, you know, like, okay, there's all these conspiracies. Okay, whatever you want to call them, classify them as that. But you're not investigating the truth. So why aren't you?